Stay anywhere that feels comfortable for you and just allow your body to gently wave or just allow a little undulation to occur. Just allow your spine to undulate, maybe making little spirals from the tailbone up through the crown of the head. Finding a comfortable spot to sit while we begin our mantras at the beginning of the practice. I practice out of love for myself to learn the truth for the benefit of all beings. Namo Vaha Sadavaha Swagatam Sadavaha. Welcome, you beautiful people, and may you find bliss upon your path. Well, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's seated quietly and still and easily, most of all, easily. Most of all, finding that stillness deep, deep within. kombucha out here with my little story. Actually, not much of a story tonight. We're gonna get right to it after I have a little kombucha and sit here for a moment and allow myself to settle. Elevate elixirs. Good stuff. So I believe what we're going to do this evening, last week we were working a little bit on flexion of the spine, bringing our chin towards our pubic bone in many cases, certainly the pubic bone up towards the lower ribs, and we almost always feel the chin to tuck. Because we did it from both ways. We would allow the upper back to flex, the lower back to flex. Today we're going to work on extension of the spine. We're going to do a little bit more movement along those lines, and extension of the spine is a back bend. Okay, now we're not going to come in a severe back bend, but we're going to be working towards feeling our spine going backwards, really becoming intimately aware with the vertebrae and how they move, how they feel, the sensory, the pure sensory sensations. I don't know how to put it, but without a story, right? This reality that is there, that can only be sensed, that can't be told. There's no story that can be told about what's happening when you can feel your spine. So let's just feel that a few times, sitting, find whatever's comfortable for you. James, I think you have your microphone on. You may want to just find just a few of these. So allow the chin to come down and allow the head to sink down towards the pelvis, but you're bringing the pubic bone up just a little bit. So there's a little bit of drawl in your belly, and then straighten up towards the sky. Allow the chest to lift just a little bit more. Feel the back arch. Feel the lower back arch. And then roll. Allow the pelvis to roll backwards here, so it's not just the back. And allow, as the lower belly draws in, allow that to hollow out the whole belly to round us. It feels like we're pretty hollow down in here, making space. And then try to allow the crown of the head to lift back towards the ceiling, slowly and easy. Maybe one more time. Allow the shoulders to relax, especially allow the jaw to relax. How can you use your breath to facilitate this movement? Let's do a few more of these. These are so wonderful. And the exhale, just allow the exhale to happen. If you allow the chin, the head to become heavy, and the back to round, arch. Let the lower back lengthen. Very often we'll still hold the lower back. Let the tail tuck underneath the pelvis. As the pubic bone lifts up towards the chin. Don't really try to unwind. It's as if there's a rope right in the middle of your chest pulling you up. And once the chest is up, the shoulders naturally go back from gravity, and then the head will follow. What's the least amount of energy we can put into this movement and allow it to happen? Really allow the back to relax as we come down. Since we're not just pouring down, the back muscles are engaged, but we're allowing the whole back to engage or to lengthen under load. Now as we're lifting, the back is engaged to lift us. But as we allow the belly to soften and draw in, the back muscles are engaged to keep us from just falling forward. Allow them to lengthen and feel the weight of your body as the whole back lengthens. This is pandiculation. The idea is that muscle fibers can get stuck in certain lengths if we habituate a certain body movement, a body style. And we want the muscles to come to their natural relaxed length. Because they can only do two things. A muscle can contract, and that brings bones together. Every time you contract a muscle, you get shorter. And they can release. This is what they can do. Muscles can get caught anywhere into that. But if you take a muscle fiber that's chronically tight and stretch it, the tightness isn't getting out. It's just doing damage on both ends. But what happens is you slowly allow it to lengthen under the load with your full awareness on it. It helps it to just release. Your brain is engaged. It knows nothing's going to happen. Those muscle fibers are frozen for a reason. They're protecting you for something that you probably forgot about decades ago. Okay, so now that we've felt it back a little bit, let's just do the opposite. Let's really feel the heart lift towards the sky. We're not really lifting the chin so much as we're keeping the head above the shoulders. But as the shoulders come back, the heart lifts, the lower back engages. And slowly release to neutral. So the whole body settles down, back lengthens. Inhale. Allow the belly to expand, chest to expand. Feel the back expand from side to side. And slowly release the belly. Just engages a little bit. Stabilize the pelvis, but the pelvis is still going to roll. So tonight we're going to do a few yin poses along the way. You might need a bolster, but you probably won't need a full bolster for what I'm planning, but we may go somewhere else. What you're probably going to need are just some smaller kind of supports. The booby bar, the Terra special booby bar that has just a multitude of uses. Kind of tuck it anywhere that molds to your body. And you may want just a simple block or a book or anything that you may have. All right, so let's come onto our backs slowly, easily. What's the least amount of effort that we can put our body through in order to make it onto the ground, onto our backs, and be as relaxed as we possibly can. And I'm going to be primarily talking us through this one. I'll be doing some of the shapes as they might become curious if you want to look up and get it. But part of this practice, part of a somatic practice is awareness. That is really the full practice, movement within awareness. Everything is happening within awareness. And it's usually better to listen, to engage that part of our body, because we really want to equate all sensations with sounds, with vibratory type action in our body. And it's very often has a lot to do with pressure in the skin, smell. Even to some extent, our optics have to do with pressure. So let's begin to release as you lie on the back. Start to ask yourself, how does it feel to be me in this moment, in this space? Go ahead and close your eyes for a few minutes and begin to feel your body from the inside. Begin to feel your skeleton. Begin to feel these hard pieces of matter, bone, within our body that are sinking through that soft matrix of our body down towards the floor. And they're pulling, stretching this matrix that supports the bones down with them. See if you can breathe in a way that releases. Allow your belly to expand on the inhale. Allow your lower back to expand down towards the floor on the inhale. And on the exhale, allow gravity just to pull you down a little bit more towards the floor. Notice the movement in your body from both the breath and from the pause of the breath. Bring your awareness to the space between the inhale and the exhale, and between the exhale and the inhale. This doesn't have to be a breath hold. We don't want to ever hold our breath. When a yogi stops breathing, we just stop breathing. It's not holding the breath. It's just feeling the sensation of satiation with the breath. Don't need a breath now. I'll take a breath when I need it. So you can begin to foster, to nurture, to culture that sensation at the end points of each breath in the practice with awareness. And you'll start noticing that your body just does that. We typically don't breathe all the time, especially if we're engaged in something. The breath is sporadic. It can be slow, it can be fast. So in a practice like this, we just want to notice the breath as an indicator, one of those internal indicators of how our system is doing. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? A real tangible way to sense how we're feeling. How's our breath feeling? How's our heartbeat feeling? These cycles within cycles in our body. Begin to feel the places on the floor where your body is sinking, melting, dissolving into the earth, becoming one with the earth. Feeling like a wet, heavy clay, just oozing into the pores of the earth, becoming one, returning to that from which we came. Finding that ease and the oneness, the relaxation. Scanning the back of your body. Where can I let go even a little bit more? And how can I let the body dissolve? Or how can I let the floor, the earth, dissolve even a little bit more of me? Check in with your feet. Maybe your heels are touching the floor. Maybe the arch at your Achilles tendon. Maybe you feel that space. Your calves. How's the space behind your knee? Where are your upper thighs making contact with the floor? Where do we feel space? How does it feel from within the leg? Instead of trying to notice how the contact with the earth is, how does it feel to be a bone in the middle of the leg? How does it feel to be the muscle in the middle of your leg? Sensing the space around you from within. See if you can find the barrier. Coming from the outside in, you can feel this barrier. See if you can find if there's a barrier moving from the inside out. Just noticing. Full awareness. We're just going to repeat a few of the things we did last week before we move on to what I'm planning on doing this week, just to feel a little bit of the flexion. So why don't we go ahead and bring our legs to standing, the knees towards the ceiling, the feet on the floor, and find a comfortable place for your legs to be. A place where your feet are holding the weight of the legs. The knees are more or less over the feet, and the feet are doing what they're supposed to be doing, holding weight, making contact with the earth, connecting. Sometimes you might want to try the knees a little wider, a little closer together, the heels a little bit closer to your rump and a little bit further away. We want to feel into the glutes also. A lot of the stability of our spine, both in flexion and in extension, is due to the glutes. Now I like my heels up close where I can actually get my fingertips on my heels, but not everyone is comfortable there. This is where I really feel like I've got this, as soon as I press into my feet, I feel this instantaneous response. I can feel the pressure flowing up through the bones of my legs, get to the pelvis, and if I'm pressing the feet down, I can feel the pelvis rotate backwards. I can feel the back of the pelvis make better contact with the floor instantaneously. So you just do that a few times. Just allow the feet to become a little bit heavier. Feel the heel, feel the outer edge of the feet. Check in with the chin. Relax the jaw, allow the mouth to be open. Just a little bit of pressure on the feet and relax back down. So you can feel the back of the pelvis flatten with the pressure. And you can bring your hands to your pelvis if you like, or to the belly, just to bring a little bit more feedback to the brain on this movement. See if you can start to feel that gentle rotation of the pelvis. So this feeling that we feel when we press the feet down, this rotation in, see if you can feel the pubic bone moving up closer to the chin. You might also feel, if you can relax the spine all the way, you might even feel the chin coming down a little bit closer to the collarbone. We're not lifting the pelvis, we're just allowing it to roll. Connection, maybe a magnetic connection between your pubic bone and your chin, just a little bit. When you relax, allow the space to form between your lower back and the floor. And what I usually like to do is when I exhale, I press the feet down. Feel this. Allow the chin to come down just a little bit. So you can feel the back lengthen as you allow the chin to draw down to the collarbone and the pubic bone pulling up towards the chin. Just a little bit. Release it down. Allow the back to shorten. Inhale into the belly. Allow the belly to lengthen. The back lifts a little bit off the floor. It's that movement that we're going to work on today. Last week we were working on the exhales. And so now we're feeling that nice flex in the spine, and we can feel it even a little bit more. Let's just, if you remember, we did this last week. We interlace the fingers and just bring those behind the head just a little bit. Allow the feet to relax, allow the pelvis to be where it is going to be. And slowly on an exhale, begin to allow the elbows to come to the ceiling and allow the weight of the head to be into the hands, and lift the head so that the chin comes down to the collarbone. And then slowly back down. You may feel the feet become a little bit heavier as you do this. Try that again on the exhale. This is not a crunch. We're not moving to build muscle in the belly. We're moving to feel the integration. Certainly the belly muscles are engaging, but try not to over-engage. We want to keep the length down here to allow the back to lengthen. If we draw everything together like this down here, you feel the back lengthens, but there's really no more room to move into down here. If we can relax it, make the space and relax, we can bring ourselves up just that little bit more. Set your head down. Interlace the fingers the opposite way, the non-habitual way, and just try that a few more times. Slow and easy. Organize to lift the head. Allow the elbows to come together. We're not using the neck muscles. Just allowing the chin to come down so it's like we're rolling the back up off the floor. Set the head back down on an inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to roll the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae from the tail by pushing the feet down just as high as it goes. And then set the tail back down slowly. This is another pandiculation. Elbows coming together, chin coming to collarbone, and gently peeling from the neck all the way as far down the back as you can get, feeling vertebrae by vertebrae. And this is what we just did is a really wonderful thing to do every day. You get to feel the contraction and the extension in your belly and your lower back. You start to feel how this little wobble, this rolling of the pelvis forward and backwards can become easier and easier. hold less and less tension. It's this movement that gives us the freedom to walk and use our glutes to walk. There's glutes. Let's do this one more time. Let's find your feet. Bring your hands to the side of your butt. Like these are where the glutes are. Right? There's major muscle groups. There all this stuff here on the side. That's all glutes. Just about all glutes. So just press into the heels and see if you're engaging your glutes. See if they're tightening. They may not be tightening for you. If you just press the feet down. But feel how that's happening. If it is happening, are the glutes engaging as you peel the spinal and slowly let it down. And now, instead of thinking about pushing the feet down to lift the pelvis, think about making the upper legs long, pressing the heels away from the body. Feet are still going to get heavier. See if you can feel the difference in the glutes. As you push the heels away, you might feel a stronger engagement. And this is what we want to feel as we're lifting, is that engagement. Legs to become longer away from the pelvis. What happens is the back of the legs get pulled towards the back of the pelvis. That's what the glutes primarily do. Bring the back of the leg bone to the back of the pelvis. And slowly lower that. So you can feel how the glutes working. It tightens up as we lift. Relaxes as we let go. The slower we can do this, we can begin to pandiculate the spine, slowly lifting the spine, pressing the knees away, really feeling the engagement. Don't squeeze to get the engagement. Allow the engagement to come naturally. We don't want to over-engage. We do that a lot in the Western world. And now, slowly as you can, and you might take 2 or 3 breaths, allow your pelvis to come down towards the ground. Keep your fingers there, see if you can feel when the glutes begin to release. Keep the legs long, pushing away, and see when they release. So I've taken several breaths there, and I'm just now starting to touch down. Now I'm starting to relax my belly and everything else, and allowing my torso to sink into the earth. And the relaxation really doesn't begin until we touch down. And then we let the whole body settle around where we touch down. All right, so let's just now allow the knees to roll from side to side just a little bit. Just bring a little bit of movement into the pelvis from side to side. You can have the arms at the side of the body, palms up, palms down. One palm up, the other palm down. You can move them around if you like. But the awareness is on this gentle rolling of the pelvis from side to side now, from the knees. And then slowly, one way or the other, begin to allow yourself to come towards the ground. And we're going to roll onto our bellies. Well, I told you we're going to roll onto the bellies. We're going to do some back bending from the belly. Once again, do not confuse anything that we're going to do here with an exercise. This is not about building muscle. This is about building pathways and connections. It's not about strength. It's about providing a platform of ease to build strength upon. So just find a comfortable place on your belly, wherever that is. Body long, feet comfortably wide. I'm up on my elbows, but kind of just lay your head down. You can stack your hands however that feels for you, whatever feels right for you. And just begin to ask yourself, how does it feel to be me lying here on this floor right now? What am I sensing about this position that's different than where I was? How has my breath changed? Has my heart rate changed? I'm feeling pressure in different parts of my body, feeling ease in different parts. How does that feel? So if it feels okay for you to keep your head lying one way or the other, in fact, let's all come to the same way. Let's bring the right hand on top of the left, and then the left ear on top of the right. If this is not comfortable for you to lie like this with your head turned like this, you can start to turn your head so that your forehead is on the hand. Maybe you don't go all the way. Maybe you just go to like 45 degrees and try it there for a while. But you can always come to this position where the middle of your forehead is on the back of the hands and your nose is more or less coming towards the ground. However is comfortable for you. Okay? So, from this position, I'm just going to go ahead and keep my head in the center actually. Begin to draw your right knee up. So what's he talking about? Draw the right knee up. So what do you have to do to make your right knee come out to the right side of your body? As easily and as slowly as you can. And then gently allow that right leg to come back along again on the floor behind you. And if this isn't working, if this is really confusing to you to still be lying on the belly while you're bringing your leg up to the outside, your right leg up to the outside, you can also come into this kind of Sphinx pose. This sometimes helps with that. Or you can even come into kind of a push-up pose and allow your body to roll to one side as you bring the knee up. Okay, so back and forth, just several times. We're just bringing a little bit of movement into the pelvis. And we're engaging the hip flexors. You might feel that on the inside of the right leg into the pelvis. See what you can do to move your leg, lengthening it, and then bringing the knee back out to the side and be as relaxed as you can. And just like on the other side when we bring the legs up, it's not bringing the leg up that's important. It's what does the rest of the body do to accommodate bringing the right leg up. Maybe you're rolling a little bit onto the left side of the ribs, left side of the belly. Just become aware of that contact and allow yourself to melt into it for just a few moments. And then go ahead and bring your awareness to the left leg. You can turn your head any way that's comfortable for you. If you've been watching me, you've seen me probably do 3 or 4 different combinations. I'm just trying to find where it's the easiest in my body. And I can allow this movement to flow with as little effort as possible. How can your body relax and accommodate this movement? See if you're trying to escape from the floor anywhere. A common place for people to try to escape here is the pelvis. We'll try to lift the pelvis off the floor, and that's not what we're doing here. We're rolling on the front side of the pelvis. The left leg's coming out. Once the left leg comes out far enough, we roll back down onto the front of the pelvis. We're not trying to get off of the pelvis. We're trying to relax and be easy with the hip movement in the pelvis. Now these are hip openers we're doing here. These are hip openers that bring a connection between the movement of your hip joints, swinging of the legs, and your brain. And integrating that movement, our principal movement for moving our body from place to place, as from that action. So maybe you can notice that as you draw the knee up, you can feel the engagement in the groin area, the inner pelvis. But then as you press the foot away, see if you can feel the right side of your breast up under the right arm in there. See if you can feel that become a little bit heavier on the floor. Try that several times. The hip flexors are what we use to walk when we shut down the glutes. So this may feel like something to you. It may feel awkward, it may be unpleasant. We don't want it to be painful. It might be confusing, it might be a difficult movement. Go ahead and bring yourself to a rest, and you can even, let's just roll onto our backs for just a moment. We've been on our belly for a few minutes, so go ahead and allow your feet to come to standing, your knees towards the ceiling, and you can even gently, and we're not stretching the back here, we're just bringing the weight of the hands onto the knees and then allowing the knees to come wide. I can bring a little bit of movement here. I like to kind of just allow the knees to come forward, rounding my back, lifting the lower back off the floor, and then slowly allowing the hands to win and the knees come back. Never stretching, just feeling the movement of the pelvis with respect to the spine. Trying to relax into that movement. Go ahead and bring the feet back down to the floor, and let's roll back onto the belly. I'm probably running late. Oh my goodness, I'm already. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. So let's bring the right leg out. We're going to leave that right leg out for a minute or two. And we're going to bring the right hand on top of the left hand, and we're going to bring the left cheek onto the right hand. So we've done things like this before. We've done it in different ways, the legs in different ways. We've never, maybe I've done it with some of you this way. So we're going to begin to gently lift the right elbow, the right hand, and the head. Just as slow and easily as we can. Noticing where the weight has to go in our body. Where does the weight in the body have to go to lift the head? Several times. Slow and easy. We're not trying to get anywhere, we're just for sensation. Allow your body to expand on the inhale. Typically use the exhale as we lift. So we're doing a little bit of extension of the back here. Right? We're lifting the right shoulder, and you might even feel a little twist. Right? So we're coming into a little back bend with just a little bit of a twist. Feel how your pelvis, how does the weight distribute in your pelvis? Allow yourself to relax in between the movements. How does the weight distribute in your pelvis to ease into the back? And now, gently begin to lift with the head down. Just try to lift the left leg up just a little bit. Just organize the lift, the left foot and the leg. You can bend the knee a little bit if you like, and then set it back down. Relax completely in between and organize to lift your left foot just a little bit. You can bend the left knee a little bit, but notice how your body organizes. Now the main muscle that's lifting your main muscle group are the glutes on the left side. See if you can tune in and even give a little extra squeeze to the left butt muscles as you lift.
Now we're doing a back extension from the lower pelvis. I would never ask you to do two legs at the same time, not in this kind of a position. And now, let's go ahead and take a little moment here. We can extend the legs long if we like. We can roll onto our belly. But what I'm going to ask you to do is just make a fist with your hands and bring your forehead onto that fist in front of you, and just allow your pelvis to flop from side to side. Relax into the floor. You can feel the bottom of your ribs. And just allow the pelvis to flop one way and the other way. As little effort as you can. See if you can really reach with your sensation, with your feelings, into the pubic bone. You can feel the pubic bone rolling on the floor, the belly above the pubic bone, and the lower ribs. So you can really get in touch with all of that space of the belly. And then go ahead and come to stillness. Bring the right hand on top of the left cheek on the right hand, right knee out to the side. And now we're gently, slowly, easily going to organize ourselves to gently lift the left leg and the right elbow and head. Soften through the whole body. Do the least amount of work possible, and then as slowly as you can, let everything come down. And see when you've really stopped coming down. When is your body completely relaxed from the movement. And then come up and do it again. And after you've done this a few times, once again, always varying. So I've been moving my head back and forth a little bit. I've started with the head a little bit more to the right. And I moved it a little bit to the left as I lift it. And you can feel there's a significant difference in where the weight goes into your body. Where do you have to support the weight as you move the head in this kind of a movement. It's just a fun little way to get in touch with your deeper core muscles. Those sensations deep in your body. Now when you're in this position, just begin to make yourself comfortable here. As a yin pose would be half frog pose. Full frog pose, both knees would be bent out to the side. That's a little rough. But find a place where you're just feeling the edge, where you can feel this shape. You can always support your head with a blanket or a pillow or something if the arms aren't doing it. And we're just going to be here for about 3 minutes. Just close your eyes and feel your breath. Just feel the trajectory, the pathway of your breath through your body in this shape. Continue to feel your breath. Cool air coming in through your nostrils, pooling in your belly,
Coming back out. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Gentle sensations and sounds. Inhale and exhale. Begin to extend your right leg long and roll onto your back for just a moment. You can bring your legs to standing, your knees to standing, and you're welcome to bring your palms back to your knees and gently draw your legs towards your chest without a stretch. Just feel the movement of your breath. As your breath moves your pelvis, your spine and your pelvis move your legs, and your legs will move your arms. Just feel the connection. And allow your knees to come back down, feet onto the floor, and begin to make your way back onto your belly. And now we're going to gently bring the left leg up and out to the side. And so the left hand will be on top of the right, and your right cheek will be on the left hand, facing towards your left elbow. Just find that place where you can feel the floor, breathing into the floor, allowing the expansion of your torso to interact with the earth. Notice how that happens. Notice how your belly is expanding and contracting, and how your pelvis is rolling now, lying on your belly with the left leg out to the side. And then slowly and easily organize to begin to lift the left elbow, the left hand, and your head as one unit. Your eyes are open, they're looking at the wall straight over your elbow. Gently lift, maybe just a millimeter. Find the exhale for the left. Where's the weight being supported in your body? As your left shoulder and elbow lift, slowly releasing down. Slowly, slowly, even more slowly once you begin to touch down. Feeling how your whole body will accommodate relaxation. And then continue with that movement, gentle and easy. Slight alterations, you can change the direction that your elbow is going along the wall beside you. There's many different little changes that you can make here. You can change the direction of your right foot a little bit. You can bring it a little bit wider, a little bit closer together. There's variation. Allow your supercomputer moving your body, brain, figure this all out, and it will. After you've done that several times, several different variations, just allow yourself to find a place to rest. You can extend both legs, however feels right for you. Now let's make our way back into that same position with the left leg out to the side. Left hand on top of the right, right cheek on top of the left hand, looking over the left elbow. And now begin to slowly organize to lift your right foot and leg. And you can bend the right knee a little bit if that helps. That will sometimes help to ease the load. And once again, we're not interested in the lifting itself. We're interested in how your body accommodates that movement. How are you rolling? Relax, let it go. Where does the weight go in your body? How do you support that? How can you breathe to help support lifting your leg? What you may feel is when we first began lifting with the arm and the head that you felt one thing, you might have felt certain levels of restriction or constriction or whatever you did feel. And then after you've done that movement with the right leg a few times, we'll have you try lifting that left elbow and head and hand again. And you may find that that's a lot easier now than it was before you lifted your leg. And that connection is happening. You're drawing at the left shoulder back towards the right pelvis. So it helps to draw the right pelvis up towards the left shoulder, which is what happens when we lift the right leg. So go ahead and settle that right leg down. Give yourself a moment of ease. Move if you need to move. Roll to the side, roll to your back. Wherever you can find the ease in your body. now just come on back. Left leg's out to the side. Right cheek is on the left hand, which is on top of the right hand, back of the right hand. And just try that. Just try lifting just a little bit. The left elbow, the head, the shoulder. Feel the connection. Feels a little bit easier, a little bit lighter. We're not working against ourselves quite as much. And then go ahead and lift the head and the leg at the same time. Just noticing that connection. Noticing how when you lift your leg, your body weight goes opposite of the way it does when you lift your opposite arm. And how when you do them both at the same time, you're stabilizing along the spine and the pelvis, which actually helps you to lift either one of them, that stability in the pelvis. And then when you're ready, begin to let go of this and come into the yin pose, that half frog pose, with the left leg out to the side. And your head can stay turned towards the left knee, or you can, if you want a more complex twist, you can turn your head in the opposite direction. Don't know if I'd recommend that unless it's very easy for you, if you have a lot of mobility in your neck. It's better to just let that come with time and movement rather than forcing it in a forced stretch. begin to extend that left leg out long. Come onto your back easily and slowly, and maybe once again come into that inverted baby pose or something. Just allow your palms to come onto your knees without pulling your knees to your chest, just allowing gravity to have you.
From the highest mountain, from the highest mountain, from the highest mountain, from the highest mountain, I will call you.
All right, so why don't we now, I'm going to come out and show you this one. This will be a really nice way to end this class. So why don't we come to lie on our left side and support your head in any way that feels good. If you need a little bolster or blanket under your head, that's fine, whatever's right. Extending your arm up, whatever feels kind of right for you. And have your knees out at 90 degrees, knees at 90 degrees, hip joint at 90 degrees. Just give yourself a few moments to acclimate to lying on your side. Find that balance on your side. And I'm going to ask you to reach your right hand in between your legs and come down and find the sole of your right foot. And then just release it. Come back to relax. And we're not wrapping the hand around. The hand is kind of in a monkey grip, so the thumb is in line with all the fingers. And we're going to do this several times. We're going to reach our hand out, and we might not get all the way to the foot. Get to the ankle. Wherever we can go, we're just going to go there. Try to relax, and then let go. Try to allow the whole left side of the body to be heavy, lying heavy on the floor, relaxing. Try that again. And this time we're going to hang on to it for a few moments, and maybe we're going to allow the foot to come out just a little bit, wherever that comes, and then back in. And if you get tired, whenever you get tired, let go. Relax the left side of your body. Maybe try to reach out just a little bit here. And roll it back in. And then you go ahead and drop that knee to the floor. Give yourself a few moments to relax here. This is really be a whole practice in itself doing these, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because we are using these glutes, right? When we're bringing the knee in, the glutes are lengthening. They're getting longer from the back of the femur all the way to the back of the pelvis. And when we reach down and grab them, we start to extend out. You can feel, perhaps you can feel a little bit of engagement there, but we're really constrained in our movements. Just try it a few more times. You might find over time you might be able to bring that foot out a little bit further back in. Slowly and easily, relaxing when you want, not stressing your body. If you're gritting your teeth, you're working way too hard. This is kind of a movement you might have done when you were like 6 months old trying to get your toes in your mouth, right? This is exactly that kind of movement. And this is a really nice movement to engage your shoulder and your hip joints together. Go ahead and relax again. Let yourself go.
just going to bring this into one other movement. I almost had a whole other yin sequence ready for you guys. I just am not good at figuring out how long things take here. So let's try this again. Reach down, find the foot. Extend the leg out as far as it goes, easily for you, and allow the foot to come to the floor. And now, slowly, what do we do to lift that foot towards the sky? Slowly, without force. Slowly and easily. So we're really engaging into the glutes now. These are the medial glutes, the ones that keep us standing if we're standing correctly. Just find that slow rolling onto the left side. Feel the body rolling. You can feel the pressure up under the left arm, on the ribs. This really has nothing to do with the foot and the hand. This is about how our body accommodates this movement. And we're just going to go this far today. We may take this a little bit further in the future. Allow that to come back into the rest position. We could try one other thing here. Let's just give this a feel in our bodies. So we want to work our way into a position, and I'm going to use a head rest here. I'm going to use one of Tara's booby bars here. And so what we want to do now is we want to find a way to balance our body, and now use the right hand to find the inner left foot. And see how that works. See how this little bit of movement here. We don't want to strain the body at all. This is all just simple. You might just get this far or this far and then bring it back. This is something that we're slowly going to work our way into, and then eventually you'll be able to flip all the way over with this leg also. So let's roll onto our backs for a moment. I'm just going to keep my knees together in that constructive rest position. Just for a few moments. And then roll on over onto your right side. Come into that 90 position. Find a way to support your head. Doing it a little bit differently this way. So your eyes are looking at the wall right in front of you. They're not up towards the sky. They're not down to the floor. Our head is nice and level. We're more or less 90 degrees at the hip joint, 90 degrees at the knee joint. Slowly begin to slide the left hand under. And see if you can come near the bottom of the foot. Monkey grip once again. And then release down. Slow, easy movement. Your pelvis hip joints might not be caring much for this. Respect that. Just notice how your body has to accommodate this movement. I'm lifting my leg. I have to roll a little bit on towards the back to make this an easy movement. And I kind of just slide back down this way. Next time we find that foot, try to extend the leg out. And usually what happens, the more we try to kick up towards our head with the foot, the easier it becomes. It's so much easier than going down, because then we have to pull our body with it. So when the foot comes up towards the head, and I actually like my hand on the heel rather than on the arch, but either way. Try to bring the foot to the floor. You can take a rest position like this. This was another yin pose that I was going to have you guys in today, but we're about out of time. And you can even then try to gently, as easily as possible, just allow this leg to roll up. And it has really little to do with the leg. It has more to do with the way I'm rolling my body on the floor. Lifting that heavy leg off like that is really kind of impossible. You have to roll your body to bring the leg up. It's all in the core. It's all in keeping yourself on the floor to roll. Several nice, slow and easy. Take a break when you need a break. Bring that knee back in. Stay on your side. You can either bring your left hand back to the left foot, or you can try to figure out what goes on if I bring the right hand to the bottom of the left foot. It's a very different movement. It's quite a lovely movement, and you can always work towards this. We will work on this some more during the next 8 weeks or whatever we have here. Working more on these type of movements, making this fluid and easy, bringing us back to our toddler bodies. That's what we'd really want. So continue to lie on the floor for a few more moments. You can continue to move in that way, or you can find your way onto your back or into a comfortable seated position.